So why start a YouTube channel? That's a great question. And I believe that it's one worth understanding, unpacking, because the things that sometimes we do for other people, we don't realize they're healing for us as well. So I am Jamie K. Spradley, Jamie Kenya Spradley to be specifically affectionately known as Spradley, sometimes Jamie K and the Jamie K. The K in my name is for Kenya, but K represents kickstands that happen in life. And what I've come to learn is that no matter what you go through, sometimes you take a pause, sometimes you take a break, and sometimes you pull out your kickstand while you take a moment to reflect and rest and get your next best steps for whatever that may be. As I stated previously, I've been in HR for about 25 years now. And my journey with understanding financial literacy and wanting to educate people started probably about 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. I had been in HR at that time about 10 years, and I knew employees were having a hard time understanding how to prepare for retirement. And I did everything that I thought I was supposed to do as an HR person. You know, you come in for orientation, you give them the paperwork, and our policy sometimes, a lot of times, benefits are 3%. Company's going to match it. If you don't make a contribution, it's going to be an automatic contribution. So I thought the 3%, set it, forget it, was going to be enough. At the time, I did, because I didn't know what I didn't know. And over the years, what started happening with benefits, specifically pensions, 401k plans, companies stopped matching. I started seeing pensions go away. A couple of companies I work for, they would tell us the pension no longer is going to be applicable to new employees. So only persons currently in the pension are grandfathered in, and that the vested benefits would change. So all of these changes, continue to occur over time. And I started realizing employees, even when they called or they wanted to get help, there was no one available after 5, after 6. They work second shift. They don't get a chance to call because during the daytime it's very busy. They're dealing with kids and other things that's consuming their life. And I said, there's got to be something that I can do. And so I started to get educated. Got my licenses, all of my investment certifications, licenses, so that I could start being informed, knowledgeable, right? And even though I would bring in partners or investment advisors or firms to sit down and meet with the employees, or would create financial wellness workshops, even though I would create these avenues and opportunities for them to meet with the advisors, it still was not quite enough because they weren't getting the final piece. They didn't understand Social Security was just a portion, and they still had to save money or contribute to the 401k and how much they needed to save, or if they borrowed against it because they needed the money for something, that they are now going to have a penalty, and then they have to pay taxes on it when it came time for doing their taxes that year. So there was always just a disconnect. There was a gap. There was not transparency, and furthermore, no clarity. And so I started saying, I've got to find a different way to be able to reach out to other people. And what happened to me, I had breast cancer. And in the midst of that, I had to pull out money because you got to pay for tests. You got a deductible. If your deductible is $13,000, $14,000, you're going to have to pay it before the core insurance steps in. Many times you have to pay out-of-pocket expenses when you're dealing with a medical crisis before you can get the CT scan, the MRI, the surgery. That's a real thing. And so we are left with lower balances or sometimes empty accounts. And when you have been the person that everyone has gone to for advice or for next steps or encouragement, and you yourself find that you need somebody for that and there's no one to call, You could feel ashamed. You can feel alone. You can feel scared. You're nervous. And I said, there's got to be a way, and I can do something about this. And so the more I became, an advocate for understanding financial literacy, health, wealth, and how those things play a part, I realized I needed a platform in order to be able to share those experiences. Because there's a woman who, she's professional. She's been doing everything she's supposed to do. She went to school, she got her degree, she's made good grades. And then as an employee, she came to work early, she stayed late, she's been a manager, she's been helping other people, she's taking care of her family and their needs. There's a woman who, even though she's done all the right things, majority of the time, most of her life, she's still right here, not sure what to do, not sure if she's going to have enough for retirement, not sure what's next. And I want to speak to her to tell her, you're not too late and you're not behind. We just got to get back on track. There is a path for you, and it may look different than what we originally intended, but we can still retire wealthy and stay retired wealthy successfully. So I speak to her, and I speak to the other professional women that feel like they're behind or they don't know what steps to take and they don't have a clear path. So I've developed a clarity framework that helps us to take inventory of where we are, what steps we need to take to get to where we'd like to be. And a lot of times that starts with a belief in ourselves. So I speak to that woman to help her believe that she can become the woman to do the things necessary to have the life that she desires. So women retire wealthy. The question is, will you?